Top 10 Vampire Movies.
Jacob.
The Twilight Saga.
What are you doing?
I'm here to warn you.
Just leave. Now.
The Twilight Saga is a series of romance fantasy films based on the book series Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. The main focus of the story is the romantic relationship between a human, Bella Swan, and a vampire, Edward Cullen.
It's time.
Yes, it is.
It also incorporates another element such as the werewolf and its tribe history, the royalty coven, the human-vampire transformation, and the hybrid immortal child. After the first installment was released, Twilight became a worldwide phenomenon and made the vampire character more popular than ever. Also, with 4 sequels released each year, extending the saga, the Twilight Renaissance era remains stronger and, likely, forever remembered.
They're coming here.
Dracula Untold.
What it needs is a monster.
Dracula Untold is the story of a Transylvanian prince, Vlad the Impaler, who ruled peacefully the kingdom. But when a Turk warlord demands 1,000 boys and his son create an army, Vlad reluctantly trades his soul and turns himself into a vampire for tremendous power to annihilate an entire army to protect his kingdom and his family. Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, no.
Dad!
Hotel Transylvania presents new themes and a different atmosphere from the usual dark and gloomy vampire movie. The leading character, Count Dracula, builds a friendly hotel for many kinds of monsters, including werewolves, mummies, and Frankenstein. Drac was also an overprotective father to his only daughter, Mavis. All of his actions are to protect his daughter and his monster friends by keeping them away from humans. But things got complicated when Mavis met a human guy. Hotel Transylvania itself has not been released until the 4th movie. Only Lovers Left Alive. Directed by Jim Jarmusch, Only Lovers Left Alive is a romantic drama film about Adam and Eve, 2 old soul vampires who have lived for hundreds, or thousands, of years. Adam is a musician who lives in Detroit. He's a loner, depressed, and sick of human beings that he calls zombies. Meanwhile, Eve lives in Morocco, a little more cheerful and wise, knowing that her husband had a Suic.
We gotta go. Right now.
Idle tendency, Eve visited him. Jarmusch created a gloomy but artsy atmosphere, with almost flat emotions and not too much conflict, and gave many references about art, science, and literature through his film. Underworld.
I'm finished with this war.
Well, it's not finished with you.
Underworld is a series of dark fantasy action horror with 5 movies centered on its major character, Selene, played by Kate Beckinsale. Underworld also has an animated version of the movie. The story mainly focused on bloodlines and family trees, inter-coven conflict, gunfights, and a werewolf. They call it Lycan. Producing the Underworld series over 5 movies in 14 years has proven how they are able to maintain consistency in the film industry.
And the war. She is the purest of us all.
Interview with the Vampire.
Let the tale seduce you, just as I was seduced.
Telling the story of a vampire named Louis de Pointe du Lac, who recounts his life story over 200 years in an interview with skeptic reporter Daniel Malloy. Starting with Louis's grief and loneliness as a human, the seductive blonde aristocrat Lestat de Lioncourt turned him into a vampire. Louis begins his journey as a vampire with some conflicts and betrayals between him and Lestat, along with an appetite for human blood.
You're not welcome in this home.
This is how it has to be.
Condemned
Dark Shadow.
to the shadows. What have you done? For all time.
Vampire, madam. Yeah.
He's just staying with us forever.
Dark Shadow features Johnny Depp as an 18th century vampire, Barnabas Collins. After being cursed and imprisoned for 200 years, Barnabas is set free and wakes up in the 20th century, where everything is new and different for him.
He's coming. He's coming.
The filmmaker Tim Burton incorporates Dark Shadow into comedy fantasy with jokes, humor, and gothic style, not just dark and horror vampire films in common.
All the family business. business to its former glory.
Burn, baby, burn. Fight on, Barnabas. Fight on for us.
Blade Trilogy.
What can you tell me about vampires?
They exist.
Blade is a film franchise based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. Blade Trilogy features Wesley Snipes as a sword-wielding vampire killer and a hybrid nicknamed the Daywalker. Released between 1998 and 2004, the Blade Trilogy is one of the earliest superhero movie trilogies.
Final solution.
You can't win this war alone.
Who the hell are you people?
My father meant for us to help you.
Whistler.
Blade also introduces a different version of the vampire character in the film that has been modernized. The Invitation.
Incredible.
I believe this is one of our important guests.
Evie, this is a close friend of the family, Walter DeVille.
The Invitation tells the twisted story of the family history of Evie, a woman who took a DNA test to know her family members after the death of her parents.
No way. I got a cousin.
That is the whitest man I've ever seen.
She discovered a long-lost cousin and was invited by her newfound family to a wedding in the English countryside.
So delighted that you're here.
Which one's the groom?
The groom and his bride will make their grand entrance tomorrow.
In there, Evie is seduced by the charismatic aristocratic host. She soon uncovered the secret and dark history of three families, each of whose bloodline is needed to keep the power of the glorious vampire. Can Evie survive in the middle of this nightmare situation?
Help me, please!
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Vampires do exist. This one we fight. This one.
This version of Dracula is closely based on Bram Stoker's classic novel.
Has no end.
You've got to go to him, and you've got to love him.
The centuries-old vampire Count Dracula comes to England to seduce his barrister Jonathan Harker's fiancée Mina Murray and inflict havoc in the foreign land.
Take me away from all this death.
And there you have it, our list of the top 10 vampire movies that will surely leave you wanting more. From the classic to the modern, each film on this list has its own unique take on the world of vampires. Whether you're a fan of horror, romance, or action, there's something for everyone in this genre. Don't forget to let us know in the comments which vampire movie is your personal favorite. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.